Welcome, Dreadnoughts, to Bryant Stadium, Bill Castle Field, for what is going to be the 6th regular season game for the Dreadnoughts. They come in undefeated at 5-0, having a fantastic beginning of the year, Jeff, as we kind of approach that midpoint already in the season. The first official fall game here at Bryant Stadium. Last week, of course, the Dreadnoughts had a victory, but you wouldn't know it. It's still pretty muggy up here in the press box, but the Dreadnoughts have been hot on the field for sure thus far through the first 5 games.
They had a big 42-6 win last week over East Lake, which is a very good program. Yeah. They're in the playoffs pretty much every year. It's just another week, another big win for Lakeland. I think the closest game so far has been 17 points over Apopka. So tonight, Lakeland faces a struggling Bartow team that's kind of having a tough year and first game of the district play. But we expect a big win tonight by Lakeland.
Of course, you can always have those letdowns in these type of games when the players anticipate kind of an easy win. In the past, though, again, you look at the schedule and you see this Bartow game. It's one of those that you know that you need to get fired up for. So you still have to play the game. You still have to avoid injuries and do all things to get through to get to another victory. You think it's going to be easy, but again, you just never know.
You don't say this very often, but you could actually say that perhaps this is a trap game before the Jenkins game.
Right.
Next week we host George Jenkins here at Bryant Stadium, and they're having a great year, maybe the best year they've had maybe ever in 20 years or whatever. And so some of these Lakeland players might be thinking ahead to next week. Very possible. Crosstown rivalry. The Ledger's been giving Jenkins some love, and rightfully so. They're undefeated, so if they win the night against Kissimmee Gateway, and we win the night, and we'll have probably the first time ever an undefeated matchup between Lakeland and George Jenkins.
Jenkins is kind of an interesting program. Just out of nowhere, they kind of just came this year together and are putting on some great points. They're beating people not just by 3 and 5 points, guys. They're beating people by 21, 40 points per game. So their offense is
They really
potent.
took it to Bartow earlier this year.
Yeah, and so we're going to go to the national anthem right now, and we'll be right back to finish pregame. The Dreadnought High School Marching Band, we are lucky to have them as well. They put on a fine performance every year. Jeff, Lakeland is steeped in traditions and got a lot of old traditions that we keep. Obviously, our head coach kind of starts with him. Before the game, we were able to take a moment to honor our past Booster Club presidents. And there's some incredible names in that group, names that if you're a Dreadnought, you've heard throughout the decades.
Yeah, Mr. Simpson, Mr. Whitehead, of course, Sid Cambrell, Fred Lopez,
yeah.
All those people who are here tonight. Our good friend and one of the webcast's biggest fans, Keith Cornea, who's up in Tennessee. If you're already watching, Keith, they did call your name out. Wish you could have been here to be on the field. But it was nice. They gave them all a plaque and everything. Coach Cass was on the field to greet them all.
Saw Tom Talcott, Ron Riggs, all those guys that have been a part of the program. Either their kids have gone here or played football or been a cheerleader or something. So once a Dreadnought, always a Dreadnought, Jeff Goddard.
No doubt about that. And speaking of traditions, a new tradition, So they're starting tonight. Some of you watching might be familiar with the tradition that they started at the University of Iowa just a couple of years ago. They have a children's hospital right next to the football stadium. So going into the in between the third and fourth quarter, all the fans turn and wave at the kids in the children's hospital, and they're all lined up in the windows, watching it. So, of course, we have the new addition to the hospital here, the Carol Barnett Pavilion for children and families. Yep. On the 6th floor is the pediatric floor. And so tonight, at the end of the first quarter, all the Lakeland fans are going to stand and wave up at the 6th floor. And it's going to be orange. It's going to be lit up orange. And all the kids and doctors and nurses are all going to be looking at the window, waving back at us. It should be really cool. And like I said, today's the first day we're doing it, but it's going to grow. We're going to get T-shirts for the staff and the kids to start wearing in future weeks. Orange Dreadnought T-shirts that say Dreadnought Strong. And then today, before the game or after school this afternoon, a lot of the players came up there and they had like a tailgate party, and they signed footballs and gave them to the kids. So kind of a big overall arching effort. Should be a really cool tradition.
They're announcing it over the loudspeaker right now, so everyone is familiar with what to do and to stand up. This is something I love.
They're calling it the Dreadnought Wave is what they're calling it.
Yeah, it just warms my heart to see that we can start a new tradition. So mark this night and date. Hopefully, decades from now, we're still doing this at that center.
We started on September 28th, 2018.
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. Just a little way the Dreadnoughts can cheer up some folks that are going through some rough times. And, of course, we are so privileged to be here every Friday with this live webcast. We thank you for joining us again. Again, already 6 games deep into this 2018 campaign, and the Dreadnoughts starting to make a little noise and some waves around the polls. I don't know how much you put into polls and ratings and things of that nature, but the Dreadnoughts starting to creep up. Number 3, I believe I saw last in 7A state poll. Of course, St. Thomas, one of those teams ahead of the Knots in the number 1 position. So perhaps that destiny meeting again this year in 2018. A lot of good teams out there.
It's been 12 years since we made it, obviously, the state championship game. Did we make it 1 year or 2 years after we lose to St. Thomas after those good teams? I think we did one time.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe 8 or something. We made it back. We lost, but obviously we won to St. Thomas was 06. And arguably this might be our best team since the 2006 state championship team. So if Lakeland continues to play the way they are and can stay healthy, continue to build on what they've done so far and improve, I think they have a very good chance to make a very deep run in the playoffs. At least state semis, I would imagine.
It's fun to go back on YouTube and watch that 2006 game.
The goal line stand.
Yeah, the goal line stand with Hankerson and St. Thomas and all those onside kicks, and just an incredible game. If you ever want to get the chills, go back and watch on YouTube that 2006 championship game against St. Thomas. It was something to behold for sure.
Right now they're showing the hype video on the Jumbotron, sponsored by Regal Automotive. It's really another new tradition at Bryant Stadium this year. They have a video on a hype video, and it leads up to the players coming on the field. That's kind of pretty cool.
Yeah, and again, just steeped in tradition here. One of those is the runway to victory that we always have. The junior ROTC does an incredible job with the runway to victory, and of course flanked by the anchorettes and the cheerleaders, and just a special thing to be able to run through that tunnel. And it's a lot of work each week in and week out, so I just want to give credit to the junior ROTC and their program again for volunteering. They're always the ones here staying afterwards, Jeff, too, to pick up trash, clean up the press box, clean up the stands, and they do some tremendous service work.
And, of course, DeMarcus Bowman continues to pace the offense from this tailback position, just having a great junior year. He's starting to get lots of college attention, for sure. But we expect him to have another big game tonight against Bartow. Some of these games, he's not even getting that many carries because we get big leads, and he has like 30, 40, 50, 60-yard touchdown runs. He'll have like 6 carries for 100-something yards, like 2 or 3 touchdowns. So that's just the way it is when you're ripping off runs like that.
This could be one of those pad the stat games, but Coach Castle's always so particular and careful about getting his other players involved. They're out there sweating and practicing just as hard as the star players, and he wants to get those second and third teams the opportunity to play.
Individuals aren't going to pad their stats line because everyone's going to be playing a lot tonight.
Yeah, and so that's just one of those traditions as we talked about them. This game, kind of the theme of the game. Coach Castle always loves to, as soon as we get up to a certain lead, get the whole team involved, and he does a fantastic job of doing that. So, but still, I think the scouts aren't. They don't worry about what's happening in the second half. They see what Bowman's doing in the first few quarters, and he is truly one of those rare talents, as you said, a combination of speed and power that we haven't seen for quite some time.
No doubt about it. And on defense, the front seven, especially this year, has been dominant, and it seems like this might be the best and biggest linebacking core we've had in a while. Got some real thumpers there.
They do.
And so that's making a big difference. And the defense look as good as it's looked in a long, long time. It's good every year, but it
seems
looks
like a
really good this year.
and these other big, big schools and putting up points, and we stop them, holding everyone below 20 points.
Popsicle scored 20, but, I mean, they usually score 30 or 40.
Yeah.
No shame in that.
A no-brainer
and that's
for
by
them.
far the most anyone's scored against us.
So big defense tonight. Any interesting halftime stuff going on?
Yeah, well, tonight the sponsor of the game here at Bryant Stadium is Smith, Federer & Smith,
okay.
Local law firm, of course. Guy Smith, he's also former
Guy
Booster Club
Smith
president. He was here tonight. And Brad Smith, who's also, of course, your former Dreadnought quarterback and attorney for Smith, Federer & Smith. He's one of the Smiths there.
Yep.
He is going to be a halftime guest on the Harry Seafood halftime show.
Of
course, he's filled in for you before a couple of times. Well, it's been a few years since he's done it. Back in the early years of the webcast, he was a go-to replacement if you had to miss a game. But so we'll talk to him tonight about his law firm, and we'll talk to him some, obviously, about Dreadnought football, both this year's team and then his obvious experience playing at Lakeland.
Yep. So as we start district play tonight, Jeff, of course, an important win. The way they've changed some of the things, you still want to make sure that you get these wins to put yourself in a position in the playoffs. And so, what is it? We have a total of 3 district games during the regular season.
Yeah, every other week for the next 5 weeks. We got Bartow tonight, then Jenkins next week, then at Winter Haven. Then we host, I believe, South Broward, then at Kathleen, the last game of the regular season. Then we'd have a bye week before the playoffs start if we're fortunate enough to make the playoffs.
So obviously that
wink.
Yeah, that would be quite the tragedy at this point with the Knots really in control and have been dominating each performance. So again, throughout the country and around the state, we thank you for joining us. We welcome you to, if you got Jeff's number or my number, just send us a quick text. And let us know. We'll put you on the air, your name on the air. And if you have any questions, we'd be happy to just get those to you during the broadcast as well. So I think we're pretty good on injury. We used to give an actual injury report in years prior. I don't think we have much to do. A few minor things.
Yeah, overall, pretty healthy. Lakeland's been fortunate so far this year. And speaking of, lots of playing time for different guys, I'd imagine tonight you're going to see the freshman quarterback, Mason Martin, get some reps tonight. Probably by the third quarter, I would imagine, not the second quarter. So our last home game a couple weeks ago, he threw a couple of beautiful passes, had 2 touchdown passes. So I'd imagine we'd see him again tonight.
You saw the captains out there, and, of course, the one of all our favorite uniforms tonight, the all camo with orange and black trim, is quite the look for the Dreadnoughts. They got their Fortnite gear on tonight. They look ominous for sure. And I'm sure they're going to bring it to the field tonight. And there you see your captains on the field for the coin toss. See big number 44, Khalil Crawford, who's had a fantastic year on defense this year, as well as A.J. Thomas. Dreadnoughts.
Lakeland won the toss and will decline.
I think they just give it to the Knots. We won every coin toss this year at home, I think. Malik St. Aim, number 51 out there as well, with Keon Zipper. There you see the very prominent runway to victory. Not to rag on the Yellow Jackets, but one of the most powerful things on their team this year is their cheerleading squad, who continues to rack up state and national championships.
I'm still not sure how a team called the Yellow Jackets could be orange and blue.
Seems a little crazy.
I mean, at least Georgia Tech has some, yellow or gold in their color scheme. As you see, they're playing the hype video, and the team will be coming to the field very soon.
Bartow's kind of just already in their spots, Jeff, waiting on.
They're watching the hype video. Like,
ominous
wow,
Dreadnoughts. They're
cool.
watching the yeah. They're like, you got to be kidding me. For some of them, it's of course a new experience coming in here to Bryant Stadium. Unless they're a senior or a junior, a lot of the sophomores and even some of the juniors probably have never played here at Bill Castle Field. Another special reason for the game tonight is my oldest daughter Olivia is here in the stands with some of her friends, and she's about to be 18 years old as the Knots hear the cannon, and here come your Dreadnoughts. Well, every game they seem to have new gear. We've seen, of course, the turnover chain. We've seen the hit stick. And now I see a large black and orange hammer. Looks like a big sledgehammer. I wonder what that, we'll have to get some more news on that, see who gets to tote that around.
Well, we do plan on knocking out Bartow tonight. Some of these new traditions are great, Tim, but it's hard to beat the runway to victory, one of the great high school traditions in the state of Florida. You see some of the Dreadnought players there in their camo uniforms. I would imagine the players really like wearing those camo uniforms. Not many high school teams have uniforms like that.
Hohenthaner has been a fantastic attribute to this Dreadnought team, kicking and punting this year. Of course, his dad proclaimed as more of a punt specialist, but you wouldn't know it this year. He's really turned into a fine kicker, both on kickoffs and, in fact, extra points and a few field goal attempts. He has been the real deal. And I'd say one of those key components, Jeff, maybe not talked about as much at the high school level, but still to go in deep in a state championship, I think it's important to have that reliable, good kicker on your squad, and Hohenthaner fits the bill for sure. As we are about to get underway here at Bryant Stadium.
Special teams, very important part of a football
40-yard line, end over end. Hohenthaner's going to boot that 5 yards deep in the end zone, no return. Number 3 was back there for Bartow Davis, but he was unable to return it. Settle back and enjoy some Dreadnought football, hopefully some Dreadnought highlights here. If Coach Castle decides to work on something, just grind it out, or going to try a good balanced attack tonight. But first, Bartow on their first series on offense here is sending a man in motion. Left side, not a lot of room to that left side. Nice little sweep play, but coming up to make a nice tackle was number 15 for the Knot.
Antonio Ware with a tackle for the Dreadnoughts.
There's a flag on the play.
Too bad for Bartow. That was actually a very nice thing.
Nice
Good design play. They had the guy
yeah.
going in motion, and they pitched it to running back going the opposite direction, and he would have had right out of first down. Not quite sure if he would have had it, but about 9 or 10 yards. But now it's going to be 1st and 15 for the Yellow Jackets. It's got to be a little deflating for Bartow.
I like how they cleared that left side, then flipped it out to the flat. Just really was man-to-man out there. The runner could have beat the defender and had the whole open sideline, but the penalty thwarted that. Still first down, 15. Referee stopping things for the moment, looking back at the clock. Gonna reset something here. back underway. Ford comes in, goes back to the outside. Rolled out right, trying to get in the flat little screen pass. Nicely defended by the Knots. Number 8 was the intended receiver.
I mean, that ball was right there. It was well thrown. You got to come in with that catch if you're Bartow.
Lynn Johnson is the freshman quarterback that's starting for the Bartow Yellow Jackets.
Jahari Martin defending that play for Lakeland.
May tell you something about the offense having a freshman in there. Lynn, they spell Lin. So Lynn Johnson, true freshman at quarterback, number 10 for Bartow, trying on a 2nd 15 now. He's getting lots of pressure and dumps it. Closest guy was number 77, the big junior offensive lineman. No one else nearby.
Big number 98, Trey Huntley, was one of the Dreadnoughts applying pressure on Lynn Johnson. And to all of our loyal webcast watchers, I want to apologize again for the technical difficulty we had 2 weeks ago. And we got that fixed last week. Everything's good to go now. The picture looks nice and crisp. So we're glad that you guys can watch tonight in good quality.
Very good. 3rd and 15.
The Wildcat
Bartow
formation
quarterback
here.
struggling, flips it on a little trickery play, but the defense just comes and steps, fills the gap, and drills number 4, Denzel Elaine, and gets
He got
crushed.
popped.
Yeah. I think Denzel thought he's going to have something there. He turned his shoulder pads and just saw a field of gray and black jersey coming at him with that.
Khalil Crawford made the tackle for Lakeland. So after that first good play, they got wiped out by the penalty. Bartow could do nothing after that.
Poor Elaine just saw a field of camo coming at him. You're not supposed to see camo, but that's all he saw. 4th and 15, punter set at his own 1-yard line. 2 receivers has this customary this year and tries to angle it to the outside and kicks it out of bounds at around the 33, 34-yard line. See where they end up marking it.
Wow,
well, he gave him a nice, generous spot there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to start walking back the other direction, but he did not. Because normally they go all the way.
And then step back 4 or 5 yards.
Walk back, but no, it's not happening tonight.
I'd like to thank Bedrock's Wings, the press box sponsor tonight. Bedrock's Wings, we go visit them in Bartow. They're actually in downtown Bartow now. They encourage everyone to go enjoy all that they have. Fantastic wings and great food there at Bedrock's Wings. Thank you to them. McWilliams, first play, handoff, big hole. Bowman's got lots of room. Number 3 tries to get him down. He strips the ball, fumble at the 21-yard line. Bowman gets stripped.
That's about a 17-yard gain, but Bartow recovered the fumble, and they would take over the possession of the ball at their own 20-yard line, 21-yard line. That's an uncharacteristic mistake for DeMarcus Bowman. Rarely fumbles, and he had a nice run there in that kind of the counter trap play there, one of Coach Castle's favorite plays. But give Bartow credit. They knocked the ball out of DeMarcus's hands and recovered the fumble, so good start for their defense.
Enormous hole for Bowman. Almost didn't know which direction to run, but he forgot one thing. He forgot to bring the ball with him here at the 21.
Yeah, he could have bounced it out to the right sideline, but he kind of went back up the middle. As fate would have it, and he was stripped of the ball.
So Bartow right back where they were just a few seconds ago.
Zarian Tolley is in at quarterback now instead of Lynn Johnson, number 7, who's also young as a sophomore.
So Tolley does that same kind of flip play across the backside, and the Dreadnoughts don't fall for it again. They lose a few yards on the play. Called it a pass play. Brown with the reception.
Yeah, because he flipped it forward in front, yeah. And yeah, so it's considered a pass. It's hard to read. It's hard to read the jersey numbers sometimes in these camo uniforms. But that was, I believe, either Latrell Jean or Trey Huntley who made the tackle for Lakeland.
Tolley still in at quarterback. 2nd down and 12 after the 2-yard loss. This is the second offensive possession on the turnover for Bartow. Tolley hands off straight up the middle, runs into his own player at the 18-yard line. He gets dropped right there by a host of Knot.
That was a draw play there by Bartow. And he was stuffed, gang tackled by Jahari Martin, about 3 or 4 of his good Dreadnought friends. Other than that first play, Bartow's got absolutely nothing so far.
It'll be a big struggle. I just don't think they have a lot of variety either in their playbook, Jeff. We already seen the same play 2 or 3 times.
I won't be surprised if Lakeland holds Bartow less than 50 yards tonight.
12 men on the field. Number 8's going to rush off just in time for the snap. 3rd and 13. Colley's 3 yards deep, and there was movement. Defensive end for the Knox tried to go around the end. Let's see if he was drawn offside.
He was. The left tackle for Bartow moved. I thought he did, and that's what the refs indicate.
You know, the Dreadnought defense already is pretty aggressive, Jeff, and then when you have this kind of offense and they're in a hole like this, it's absolutely fun time for them to go after the quarterback on a 3rd and 18. They're coming. Tolley getting pressure straight up the middle. Face mask, but he lets go, spins around, and then
no flag. I guess they said he pulled his hand back.
He hit his face mask, but it didn't grab it. I think he let
by
go immediately.
Latrell Jean and Trey Huntley in on that tackle for Lakeland. They had a pretty good first couple of series. They're both making multiple plays. Jean, number 96, and Huntley, number 98 for the Dreadnoughts. So no harm, no foul on that Bowman fumble as Lakeland's going to get the ball back in good field position again.
Chris Howard and Finley Graham way up this
Bartow's
time.
punting from the shadow of their end zone.
Expecting a short punt, maybe to try to field it on a line drive. The last punt maybe only went 20 yards. So good snap. And he's going to
almost block
outside as well. But now that one went outside in a hurry.
That should be around the 35 at the farthest. Let's see. This referee is clueless.
Yeah, it's funny.
I mean, the first one, maybe he was right, but this one, not even close.
The ref in the white hat actually marked it where you said, closer to the 34, 35, and the guy with the ball didn't even look at him. He just marked it right there. Didn't even adjust.
39, this guy is, I don't think he understands how to track punts to go out of bounds.
Well, Groundhog Day here so far this game, as we see a couple of the almost exact same positions on the field. Now the Dreadnoughts, their second try. Let's see if they can make it count. Bowman fumbled on the first play on the handoff, had a lot of room. McWilliams going to fake the Bowman, throw it over to Howard. Howard has a lot of room in a block.
Gone.
Down the sidelines, one man to beat. Howard's going to cut back on an ankle breaker there at the 7-yard line.
That was a very well-executed play by Lakeland. I think actually Howard was shocked when he looked up and no one was in front of him. They blocked that very well, and he had nothing but green in front of him. But the Bartow safety had the ankle, so he was able to get there and kind of cut him off. But it's going to be 1st and 10 for Lakeland at the Bartow. It'll actually be 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
So successful play on the second play. Darian West and Howard out to the left side. Finley out to the near side. Bowman in the backfield. Right side, no one there. Bowman's going to just jaunt in on a Sunday casual.
Are you kidding me?
Good grief.
My 94-year-old grandmother could have scored on that one, I think. That's as easy as a touchdown as you're ever going to get.
Nobody home at all for Bartow. And Zamarcus Bowman didn't even have to put on the, I would say the afterburner, not even the second gear, I don't think.
Well, we do have on camo uniforms. Maybe they didn't see him, Tim. It's possible.
He's blending right in with that very green and bright orange field. Howard set the hole for the extra point. Hohenthaler. Good snap. Looked to be good, and it is.
Right down Broadway. Good kick by Jace.
So the Dreadnoughts make good on their second offensive possession with 7:21. Dreadnoughts lead 7-0 here early at Bryant Stadium. We'll take a brief timeout and be right back with you here at Bryant Stadium. Or we may just stay here. They're going to get back to action pretty quick.
Lizette, we'll keep it with you. Keep it here with you. In case you missed the pregame show, the game sponsor tonight here at Bryant Stadium is Smith, Federer, and Smith, attorneys at law. So Brad Smith will be our guest on the Harry Seafood Halftime Show. Of course, Brad's a former Lakeland quarterback and also played collegiately at the University of Kentucky.
Hohenthaler booped it. Nice high, long kick. Oh, it actually landed at the 2-yard line. That would have been a live ball if it wouldn't have gone into the end zone. Number 3 didn't even look back.
The Bartow guy was kind of rolling the dice on that one, wasn't it? That could have been disastrous for Bartow if it bounced the other way.
Forgot to mention that Bedrocks is also, of course, on Edgewood Drive here in Lakeland, but their newer location is in downtown Bartow, so you can visit them at either location. They, again, are the press box sponsors. We also want to give a very special thanks to Aunt Tia of Hollywood Cafe. Paul Hallier was telling me about Aunt Tia, who actually fed the team and then provided some awesome cupcakes tonight down there in the press box for everyone. So we'd like to thank Aunt Tia from Hollywood Cafe. She's been important to feed the team for sure.
Here we go.
As Tolly fires it over, and I don't think number 14 is
intercepted.
picked off. I was just going to say, I don't think number 14 was even expecting the ball, but the Dreadnought defender was. Jalen Taylor, the interception for the Knots.
It bounced off the Bartow guy and really just landed right in Taylor's arms. Kind of like in baseball, what do you call it, a room service hop? That was kind of like a room service deflection right into Jalen's arms.
Going back, really finish up to Aunt Tia from Hollywood Cafe. They're on Winter Garden Road, just across the street from Travis Tech School. You can take your Dreadnought game tickets to Hollywood Cafe and get a free cup of Italian ice with your order anytime, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 4. So, again, we want to support all our sponsors, Hollywood Cafe and Bedrock's Wings tonight.
Looks like we're going to have some type of a substitution infraction, but let's see who it's against. The back judge and the referee are trying to communicate. Just against Bartow, substitution infraction against Bartow. So that will give the Dreadnoughts even a shorter field to work with here. Now, Tim, I got a question for you. Did you have a cupcake before the game?
I did.
I wanted to, but I was afraid I was going to get all the icing all over my lips and teeth, and I don't want to, come on the air looking like crazy man.
I'm not worried about that anymore. They all know what they're getting, so a little cupcake icing never hurt. As
Finley Graham with the quick hitter there.
Yeah, Finley with a nice quick pop.
Looking like a fullback there almost.
He did. He was rumbling down.
He told me last week, or 2 weeks ago, I interviewed him, they were going to be getting him the ball more on offense. So.
He wants it.
And why not?
Very talented kind of utility back is in his own right.
First and goal from the 9-yard line.
Bowman single set back. Snap, McWilliams, Bowman left side, stiff arms, trying to get to the cone, the pylon. He gets there. He beats one man. Man-to-man, Bowman just kind of took on a guy, did a stiff arm, and then bounced to the outside, Jeff, pretty easy.
He's got a pair of 9-yard touchdown runs tonight. That one was slightly more difficult than the first one, as he showed you a very nice stiff arm. What game was that? Oh, yeah, I think it was the Monday night game with the Steelers and the Bucks. The stiff arm, the tight end from Pittsburgh. I think he injured the Bucks guys out for the year. I want to say.
Really? I didn't see
he's
that.
injured. I want to say he might be out for the year, but oh yeah, he put it on him, didn't he?
It was like the jiu-jitsu chop he landed on him.
Oh man, he put it on him.
He's a big guy. The Knots putting on an early show here with 6:29 left, and Hohenthaler's legs getting the workout early, and the point's good. Extra point is up.
So still 6:29 to go in the first quarter, and it's already 14-0 Lakeland.
Hard to believe that you would say you would have turned it over on your first series, and then with 6:29 left in the first quarter, you still have 14 points. Not too bad.
Coach Boldini giving some instructions to Jace there about where to kick the ball, looks like.
Bowman down there talking with Dadrian Ellefson, who is the 10th grade running back. We've seen Kellum and Ellefson come in a lot in the second halves this year, and not much of a let-up from those two guys. Pretty talented in their own right. Things to look forward to in a few years.
We have quite the stable of running backs at Lakeland this year. Speaking of that Jenkins game next week, they're expecting a very big crowd next week. If Jenkins having such a good year, I'm sure they'll bring lots of
Time number 3 takes it on the one hopper, and he runs sideways and backwards to the center of the field and gets tackled immediately.
Jason Hampton and Tyrell Jones with a tackle there for Lakeland. As you can see, Coach Boldini, who was just talking to Jace before he kicked the ball, I think was instructing him to do that kind of not a squib kick, but trying not to get in the end zone. Kind of put it in the southeast corner of Bryant Stadium. It's a great kick.
Just strategically, if you can save 10 yards on that, just not give them the automatic 20, and that's what they did.
Throw the ball on the 13-yard line. So
executed pretty well there. Man in motion across the backside, number 4. Holly hands off up the middle, and just a ton of bodies. Number 8 does a good job of bouncing outside.
First tackle.
There's the whistle blown.
And there was
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 knots.
A plethora of dreadnoughts.
Wow.
Make the tackle. If there was not the forward progress rule, that would have definitely been a safety. As they practically pushed them out of the end zone, through the back of the end zone.
They were merciful, like you said, giving them a 5-yard loss. And we do, in fact, have the first quarter water break. And again, they're announcing at the end of the first quarter the tradition of Lakeland fans at the end of the first quarter all standing up and waving to the floor of the pediatric unit. Very cool tradition that's setting up here.
So Polk County Schools up to a B. Good for Polk County. I'm assuming they're saying we're up to a B, not down to a B. I think because they're celebrating it, so it must be up to a B. So how was the cupcake?
Delicious. Very, very good. The right combination of moistness, thickness, and very tasty. Aline goes in motion. Quarterback Tolley trying to find some room and throws it behind his receiver. Winging in anything, Jeff. Just trying to get some positive yards.
I think I was being way too optimistic in saying that Bartow might be held under 50 yards. They might be held under 10 yards tonight at this rate, Tim. They look at that. I mean, honestly, they have no chance to move the ball against this Dreadnought defense.
Not the current team that's in there for sure. I mean, normally, obviously, we have a good vantage point. We can see plays develop, but it just looks like Dreadnoughts know what they're doing before they snap the ball. Tolley's going to send number 3 in motion. Oh, a big lightning strike there in the south end zone.
Bartow calls a timeout.
Hope that's not moving this direction. There was a huge lightning strike just probably 8 miles or so south.
Now that it's dark, it's kind of hard to tell if it's overcast or not. I didn't think we had any chance of rain, really, but maybe we do.
Well, if you got it, it rained pretty heavy late last night.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a surprise.
I live in Barica, and around 9:30, 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, it just poured in a major lightning storm in my house in Barica. I mean, a big-time lightning storm.
We talked about the Dreadnought defense and how this team has no let up. It's not just on the offensive side of the ball. They are truly that good with a lot of depth. Quick pass to number 3. That's a nice pitch and catch. Boy, he did a good job, and that's a late hit out of bounds.
That's not a late hit. He was still in bounds. That's a weak call right there, I'm telling you. He was still in bounds. He's like, I tackled him.
He was rolling on the line, and he got hit by number 98.
You think that was a penalty, Tim?
It's close. I mean, he was, like I said, he was rolling, and when number 98 hit him right on the line, but his body kept rolling, so it looked like he was further out of bounds than he actually was.
I'm not sure if we can see a replay on that or not, but I'd like to see a replay if we can. 2 weeks ago, we had some replays on the webcast. I'm not sure if we're going to have any tonight or not.
Well, it's interesting. We've said some of the biggest plays by these opposing offenses have been the 15-yard penalties by the Dreadnoughts. That one, as many are.
That was a well-executed play by Bartow, and probably got about maybe 5 to 7 yards, but then with the penalty, gives him a first down.
Tully has a single set back for the first down. Fresh set of downs for Tully.
What's the pitch?
Nice flip pitch. And stop behind the line, tackle. 4 yards, 5, 6 yards deep. It was a deep pitch in the nuts.
Jahari Martin, he's having a great senior year for Lakeland on his linebacker spot. Another tackle for Mr. Martin.
Maurice Bell.
He's 6 foot 230. He's got a college body already.
Yeah, you expect when you get a pitch like that to have some room to work with, but as soon as Bell got the ball, Martin was all over him. There's a lot of lightning now in the south. Hopefully, again, that's not something that's going to threaten us here. If you're able to look at a computer in the radar, you can text one of us to see if there's some storms moving in and towards South Lakeland. Give you an assignment if you're out there watching for the Knots. Tolley, 3 steps, now scrambling, pressure. He's not going to get anywhere. That's a dangerous proposition to go running through those big trees there in the center of the field. Tolley's a short quarterback.
That was a design quarterback draw there. P.J. Sloan. Good credit with the sack.
Tolley listed at 6 foot. I don't know about that. 3rd and 19. Dreadnoughts lead 14-0 here early on. The only little hiccup was on the first play of the game. Bowman fumbled the ball at the 21-yard line, and Bartow didn't do anything with it. The Knots scored on their next 2 possessions. As number 10 now in the ball game at quarterback, fires it over to the right side and picked up about 6 or 7 yards. Not a bad little play. So switching quarterbacks between Tolley and Johnson. Johnson fires it over this time on a completion.
Did you see the replay there? Bartow has shown a little bit of ability to execute a short passing game. We'll see they'll probably come back to this place quite a bit.
I'm not going to be surprised, Jeff, if we don't stop this game in a minute. That was another.
Was it heat lining or bolt?
No, it's bolt. It's all the way down to the straight down. That one looked to get closer. I heard a lot of oohs and ahs in the stadium, too. Is a large flash.
It's a better punt that
Not
time
bad.
by Bartow.
Let's see if the opposing. Yeah, see, now he's doing it the right way. See how he's walking that up?
Yeah,
gets in line with
this guy needs to talk to the sideline judge on the west side over here and explain to him how that works. Maybe the guy over here on the west side, maybe he's already got his steps in today on his Fitbit. He doesn't really need any extra steps. The guy over there is trying to, up his fitness levels.
So this is the first time the Knots will start in their own territory, but just barely.
Yeah, 49. Oh, gee, what horrible field position. Haven't seen any. We saw one pass by Ski McWilliams.
This might be a long pass play. This looks like it's setting up for a long one. Nope, Ski McWilliams is just going to keep it and run it. Hold on to that ball, Ski. Don't get hurt.
That might be one of those. That may have been a design quarterback run on the way, but it also looked like it could have been an RPO, a run pass option, which is kind of taking college football by storm. We give the quarterback a chance. You make the read, he can run it or he can pass it. Or pass it or run it, however you want to look at it.
He had West about 48 yards deep on that pass play, wide open, but McWilliams has already decided to run the ball.
You're even starting to see some RPOs in the NFL as well.
West out far, we got Zipper and Howard to this near side. Fake to Bowman, tipped at the line and picked off. So Bartow has some blockers and a little bit of room to run. Number 2 is going to get it tackled at the 35. So Bartow with their second turnover of the night. Wow. Late
turnovers are keeping the score from being a lot worse. As it is, Lakeland's up 14-0. As you see, the return by the Bartow defensive back, Tremaine Patterson. The Yellow Jackets cannot stand the prosperity. They had a block in the back on the play, which is totally unrelated to the play. And so that's going to bring him back quite a bit. It's only a 10-yard penalty, but based on where the foul occurred, it's going to cost them about 20 yards of field position.
So they have yet officially to cross over into Dreadnought territory. That was a good
Well, on offense. Defense they have.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Please join us on October 18th for senior night as we honor our seniors. Also be hosting
They just announced October 18th is senior night. Lynn Johnson back in. I'm sorry, that's Tolley who fires it over at the 45, caught in a first down. Pretty good pass to Lane.
On the
Two steps and fires it. Nice 12-yard
Martin
gain.
on the tackle there for the Dreadnoughts. Bartow is not able to run the ball at all, but they are having some success with that short to intermediate passing game, so we'll see if they stay with that.
Over 2 minutes here left in the first quarter. So we do the inaugural Lakeland wave. Flag
That's going to be again on the left tackle of Bartow, a false start. That's his second of the game. The Tim on the interception a while ago by Ski McWilliams. He had a guy open in the middle of the field, like a little slant or crossing route, and he just didn't get the ball high enough. And good play by Bartow. Defensive lineman got his hand up, deflected the ball, and landed right in the hands of Mr. Patterson for Bartow.
If the defender were closer to the receiver, he would not have got the interception, but the Dreadnought
receiver's
were so
actually
wide
open. Yeah, that's true.
The defender was in a position to get the deflection. Tolley has 3 wide receivers out. They fired over, quick pop to number 1 who catches it. Nice pitch and catch. That was pretty well executed.
Cadell Hobb as a tackle for Lakeland.
You can see on the replay. Watch how quick Tolley gets this
his
ball out.
His last couple passes look really
good. He takes 1 step and then fires it to number 1.
Lakeland might have to start moving their cornerbacks up and jamming them at the line of scrimmage and not giving them any kind of a cushion.
It doesn't appear like they've got too much going deep. Like you said, it's kind of these short and mid.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a good adjustment to make. I don't think there's too much to worry about the big pass plays down the field.
Tolley's moving it.
The
nice
draw play.
Delayed draw. Maurice Bell.
Martin on the tackle again. See, Tim, the draw play is a play that is set up by the passing attack.
Absolutely.
Whereas, then if you pound the ball on the ground, then that sets up play action fake. So it's kind of the opposite of a play action fake is the draw play. I want to give a shout out to my older brother Robbie, who's watching the game tonight down in Fort Lauderdale. He's a pilot for JetBlue, so he's on a layover in Fort Lauderdale, watching on the webcast.
Very astute football fan. He comes up and always gives good comments on things. As Tolley hands off again to Bell, right side.
He's astute in his own mind, Tim.
Aha.
Don't give him the big head now.
All right. You know him better. Bell is
he knows his football.
Make some progress
I think one
here.
of my other brothers, Kevin, might be coming up here at some point tonight. He said he was coming. I don't see him yet. Lloyd Summeron in that tackle for the Dreadnoughts.
Been able to say Yellow Jackets first down several times on this drive as Bartow's going to call the timeout and talk things over here. They don't want to make the most of this drive that they got going on here, down 14-0. That is the end of the first quarter with the Knots 14 and Bartow 0. And let's see if we go ahead and here we go. I can see the lights going.
As you see the Lakeland players are all waving.
send inspiration to children and healing in the pediatric.
That's
As
awesome.
you can see here on the TV,
Here comes the big
our camera's doing a good job of showing you the hospital.
2, 3.
Woo!
Oh, we got fireworks going
And we
too.
got fireworks too.
That's awesome. Very cool. That's what it's about right there, folks.
Well wishes from our Treadnought family.
Great job, Knots.
We're going to give our best wishes to all the kids that are in the hospital, many of which are battling cancer. There's some very serious, illnesses and situations. And Dreadnought players, some of the players, or if not, I think a lot of the players, not the whole team, went to the hospital this afternoon, went up and talked to the kids, signed footballs, and gave them to the kids. So just the beginning of a really cool tradition here at Lakeland High School and Bryant Stadium.
If you don't particularly love high school football, it's worth it just to come out and do that and support the kids. That was really awesome. So back to action here in the second quarter. The Yellow Jackets have a little something brewing, but the quarterback too much time, but he escaped. What a nice escape, and he's rolled out to the left side. He's still on his feet, picking his way through the knots, and still going. Tolley with a nice run.
That's your play of the game right there. I don't know if you see a better play all game.
A fantastic effort from the quarterback. Look at
Look
that.
at him. He's so tiny, but look at that. He's breaking tackles like he's Herschel Walker or something. Now, on
a long
the
9-yard
beginning of that
run.
play, Lloyd Summerall, who's a Division I prospect and can go to about any school he wants to, he had him dead to right, had him wrapped up, and his arms, but he tried to tackle him up high instead of down low,
It's like
and he's
Tolley
able
got
to
the,
kind of sneak out of
Looks like
it.
he got the Popeye spinach burst there for a second, throwing off
That is
Dreadnought
a
defenders.
Sports Center worthy top 10 play for
Second down
Desire
and
and
one.
Tolley.
There's that
Draw play
delayed
again.
draw again. Pretty effective. It picked up the first down.
Maurice Bell on the carry for Bartow.
So Bartow. The coaches are fired up, man. They're all like, yeah.
I got to give Bartow credit. I said they may not get 10
Yeah.
yards.
They heard you. They rallied on that.
Putting together some nice plays.
Someone's down there on the sideline watching the webcast. They're
I'm
like,
just
you
now
know what their announcer
Yeah.
said?
I'm just not realizing that Bartow has the numbers on the helmets.
Yes.
I hadn't noticed that until right then.
Can they punch it in from just outside the 15-yard line? Fresh set of downs to work with. Tolley's been pretty effective here on some nice passes this drive. Handoff Bell trips there at the 15. Gets just inside the 14.
The turf monster got him.
It's a good tackler
We'll
sometimes.
give credit to A.J. Thomas on that
Watch.
one.
Bell just, whoops, there he goes. Second down, 8. Hope you're enjoying the little bit of the added technology of the instant replay.
Very much so.
Now defense on Pride trying to keep the Yellow Jackets out. Bartow just wants to get some points. They flip it over the middle, and it should have been picked
Very
off.
dangerous.
I don't know who
Could
that
have
was
easily
to
been picked
exactly,
off.
but the entire defensive line had a shot at it for the Knots. Watch this on the replay. Goes right through the hands of one of the defenders right there. Whoops. Number 98.
Trey Huntley.
Trey.
Had an interception. 3rd and 8 now for Bartow.
Either sure-handed offensive lineman or defensive lineman.
I would
rather.
imagine
They,
to see Bartow go back to that short passing game here on 3rd and 8. They're going over the middle the last few passes. Let's see if they try to do a little wide receiver screen this time.
Stacked wide receivers to that far side. Tolley's looking that way. Wait. Now he's going to run it. Takes off himself, and he gets drugged down from behind just past the 10.
Does a design quarterback draw. As you see there, he takes the ball a couple steps back and almost immediately starts to run. Latrell Jean had a chance to get him for a sack, but Tolley sure is quick.
What do you do here, Jeff?
Only a
Goddard?
sophomore.
You're a Bartow.
He's cat-like quick.
You go for it. You get some points on the board. You just go for the touchdown. 4th and 2.
You gotta go for it.
They're going for it. They're not going
to show some fight.
I don't know that they have a kicker.
Field goals aren't going to help you win this game.
I don't think they have the one that they really rely on anyways. But as Tully's going to be in shotgun looking to pass the ball, he's spreading the field and trying to get
They might call timeout.
He steps up this time now under center. He's going to call timeout. That was a design play right from the Bill Castle playbook, trying to draw him off.
So they might go ahead and kick a field goal. Either that or they want to change the play.
Commercial.
Let's go ahead and take it to a commercial with the Knots leading 14-0. We'll be right back with you.
1, 2, 1.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Downtown staple, just off Munn Park. Fine restaurant, longtime supporter of the Dreadnoughts. Of course, we have to remind you guys that Monday night, October 1st, yes, October already, is in fact the Dreadnought Highlight Report with Coach Bill Castle. They've renamed it. Still the same good show, though, in the LHS Film Room, which is the locker room at 7 p.m. You can come listen to Coach Castle talk Dreadnought football, and he has a special guest speaker every week, sometimes a big one and a nice surprise. But everyone is, in fact, invited to that if you'd like to go hear Coach Castle talk a little bit more about Dreadnought football. So let's see what happens here. A direct snap, kind of funky-looking lineup here for the Bartow Yellow Jackets. Let's see if they do snap the ball. They do snap it directly to Bell, and the Knots come up and stick them right there.
I thought that was a false start. Looked like the left guard left early. I don't think he got it.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was. I thought it was a false start, but it looked like maybe he timed it.
Needed
just
to,
perfect.
and he got half the distance.
It's fourth and a short 3 or a long 2, however you want to look at it, and he got about, a yard and a half, so clearly he was short. The Dreadnoughts will take over at their own 8-yard line, leading 14-0 with 9:17 to go in the first half.
Bell's not huge. He was 5'10", 185 pounds. They just tried to shove him in there to pick up 2 yards.
That's decent size. Yeah, that's pretty
Knots
good size.
had a beat on them, though. They tried to spread the field out, and the linebackers just didn't fall for it. Dreadnoughts now with a long way to go to pay dirt, but it gives them a chance for a big play. As Bowman, I think that's Bowman.
DeMarcus Bowman got about 11 yards and a first down.
Way over there on the right side, so we thought the style certainly looked like Bowman.
As you saw there, Bowman finished the runoff in a very physical manner, putting his shoulder down and falling forward to get a couple extra yards. Like to see that from your running backs. As we talk about often, not only does he have the speed and the vision, he's got the toughness and the physicality too.
McWilliams back under center on a first down and 10. There's a pretty nice hole for Bowman. He gets tripped up. He was trying to get to the outside. I could see his eyes working. He was like, I want to get to this outside, but someone
he got
grabbed
about
his ankle.
14 yards that
You'll
time.
see on this
first
replay,
down.
someone just reached out and right there tagged his ankle,
It's
tripped him up.
Good job of blocking there by these last couple plays by the Dreadnought offensive line, opening up big holes for DeMarcus Bowman. Although someone had that guy block, but they didn't hold the block, and he was able to fight back, get back in the play, and like you said, kind of tackle him on his ankles there. They held that block, but I think it was one of the receivers for Lakeland, and then maybe Bowman gets some additional yardage.
So a stumbling first down. You could say not one of Bowman's best, but he still picks up a first down as McWilliams fakes the handoff this time, throws it over to West, and he drops it. Just goes in and out of his arms.
He had a lot of green there. He could have had a big gainer there.
Well, you
if
see,
he held on to the
Coach
ball.
Castle was literally right there in front and says, "Oh my goodness, that was exactly what I had wanted set up." And
yeah,
it just
they executed it and started from a blocking perspective, and the pass was there. West just couldn't corral the ball. As you see Coach Baylor there standing next to McWilliams and Coach Castle. He's always next to Coach Castle when the Dreadnoughts have the ball on offense. It's almost like he's Coach Castle's understudy or stunt double or something. Want to give a shout out to Coach Baylor's parents who normally watch every week up in Washington, D.C.
Not a bad man to shadow. Nick Williams, hands off. Bowman breaks one tackle. Now looking to the sidelines. Got him by the jersey, and Bowman's still running. Oh, what an interesting play. Number 29 for Bartow had Bowman's jersey and just would not let go.
We don't have a 29 on the roster.
Not even listed on the roster.
But nice play there. If it wasn't for the jersey tug, I think Bowman may have been gone. That's maybe saved a touchdown.
The jersey had a nice, like about a 2 or 3 yard spread. Those things must be pretty stretchy. That thing went Bowman was about 2 yards in front of the defender.
Dreadnought first down brought to you by FHS, Florida Handling Systems.
Bowman's still turning up first downs, though, like it's extremely easy. Finley Graham gets the call this time, skipping his way.
Oh,
look
nice,
at Finley.
breaking
He's going to try to get to the outside.
Gone.
Finley Graham, look at him go. What a nice path he took there, and good vision by Finley Graham. Touchdown, Dreadnoughts.
37-yard touchdown by Finley Graham. Great job of seeing the field and bouncing out to the outside as you see the
on the
replay
replay
there.
what a good job he did of picking a alleyway. There he is.
Finley's showing you that he's not just a defensive player, but he can definitely play offense too.
Lean and mean, Mr. Finley Graham. Number 1, and we do have Finley Graham is an 11th grader, so we do have him back next year if he so chooses to do that. Quite the duo
Him
with
and
Graham
DeMarcus
and
Bowman
Oh
are
my, yeah.
classmates. Jason missed the extra point. Surprising.
So Howard shaking his head. I think he messed up the hold a little bit there.
7-yard touchdown run. Lakeland Dreadnoughts 20. Bartow Yellow Jackets.
So, all right, the Knots put up 20 so far here in the first half, and we've actually seen worse, Jeff Goddard, as the Bartow Yellow Jackets had a pretty nice little drive last time, and
we'll see if Coach Castro goes for 2 when they score their next touchdown.
October 18th, senior night, as we honor our seniors, also hosting scout game, raise awareness, breast cancer.
the JV football team lost their game last night against Kathleen, and they have their next game here at home against Ridge next week, October 4th at 7 p.m. is the kickoff, so you can come out and support the JV team. Struggling a little bit this year, but finding their way.
Tim, I think it's only slightly less muggy than it was 2 weeks ago.
It is muggy.
When I first got here tonight, I thought it was going to be quite a bit less muggy, but as the night's going on, it's getting worse.
It's tricky, right? You walk out in the morning and you're like, hey, maybe there's a chance that this thing's cooling off, and then nope. Just teasing
Not
you.
today.
Teasing us. Yeah,
Did you say when you worked out this morning or when you woke up this morning?
Oh, woke up. No, I don't work out in the mornings.
Look at Tim.
I'm not an early morning.
Get to the gym.
I work out at night, but not.
Yeah, I go in the mornings now. So I used to always go at night, but sometimes you get so busy at night and I was missing workouts. So I started going in the morning. So I'm just trying to make sure I get my workouts in.
Either way, if you gotta be disciplined.
Try to get at least 3, if not 4 workouts in a week.
That's great. There's a flag behind the line of scrimmage. Is
In
number 10.
around there.
Lynn Johnson hands off. Illegal motion.
Illegal motion against Bartow, so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
So it takes a while for the band to get really cranked up. You see the first couple games of the year, they're in shorts and T-shirts, and then they'll put on maybe their uniform the third week or so, and then you see the color guard get their uniforms. But now in the 6th week, it's time. They're going full board. They got all the props. They're getting ready to roll out on the field, and everyone's got their full regalia on, I would say. So looking for a good
They're not messing around.
Dreadnought halftime show. They are not messing around. Johnson fires it across the middle, deep and incomplete. Number 1 was the intended receiver. Wheatley was trying
Antoine
to get
Wheatley. He got rid of the ball pretty quickly. He didn't give the receiver a chance to really get open, if you will. Ended up overthrowing him. Have to be a little bit more patient there on the deep passing game.
Good coverage. So a flash from the Yellow Jackets. Back to working in a deficit. 2nd 15. Fires it over. Johnson behind the receiver. Incomplete pass.
Not looking good for Bartow here in 3rd and 15. They might have to punt from out of the end zone. So Bartow can't get a first down here. Tim Lakeland should get the ball back. Excellent field position. Nothing going there for Bartow on the 3rd and 15. Got maybe a yard. So Bartow's got to punt now.
Fourth down and 13. Finley Graham and Howard have been begging to return one, but the punter's pretty much just decided he's going to turn and angle it right out of bounds. This time he's got a pretty nice one. And Finley Graham gets it and switches directions. Trying to pick it. Watch those blocks in the back, guys. Finley Graham got tons of room. Just be patient. One man, 98, blocking, cuts his way, picks, spins down to the 2.
Inside the 5-yard line. Great return by Finley Graham. As you see the replay there, Finley
wait.
Had to slow down there, try to see if he could get a block to get in the end zone, but Bartow did not give up on that play. They had several guys down there, and they were able to hem him in and keep him out of the end zone.
Well, that's why they haven't been kicking it to Finley Graham and Howard. They think
they might want to go back to kicking out of bounds.
Yeah. The Knott engine chugging along here. Quick pop, right side, broke tackle, touchdown Knots.
That's Jahari Martin. They had him.
Watch this, not to be denied. He gets hit there at about the 3-yard line.
And the 21 had him dead to right there for probably a 1-yard loss. That was Josh Holder, but he was not going to bring Jahari Martin down with a tackle up around his chest. You got to get lower on him. He's thick. He's a big kid.
Yeah, this is one of the things you can kind of see, Jeff, the incredible strength training that the Dreadnoughts go through, both off-season and during the season. Games like this, too, as you just said, obviously that's not the great way to tackle anyone high like that, but you just can tell some of the difference in the strength of the players on the field. As in fact, Castle does go for 2, and Bowman easily puts it in there to pick up the 2-point conversion to get it back to 28.
Castle likes those even numbers by 7. Easy 2-point conversion there by Marcus Bowman.
So the Knots with an easy touchdown and the 2-point conversion up 28-0 with 5:59. Let's go ahead and take a brief timeout and be right back with you.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for 1 person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Back here at Bryant Stadium. over the head. Oh, boy. Dives on it at the 2-yard line, and that's going to be, talk about a hole.
Coach Baldini's got Jay's working on those kind of kickoffs, so you force him to make a play as the ball lands inside the 10-yard line. Much better chance of pinning them deep than just automatically kicking in the end zone every time. I like that strategy, Tim.
Yeah, now if you're either Johnson or, in fact, this case, it looks like Tolley's going to get the fun order of starting this drive at his own goal line. With a very aggressive Dreadnought defense coming at you. With a green light, by the way, I would imagine. Tolley sends number 4 in motion. Take the quick 2-step drop, hands off the delay, and maybe loses a yard.
Yeah,
just
he got out of the end zone, so no safety, but
barely.
Didn't get very far, that's for sure. This
Second
should be the
quarter
second
water
quarter
break.
water break. Just a good chance to go to your refrigerator at home and get a nice cold drink. As our players get their Gatorade bottles.
We can't see it because it's just above us. But
That must be Joe's dad, I guess?
Yeah, Mr. Accessory, they have apparently some flags flying to honor one of the Dreadnought greats. So at the 3-yard line, the Yellow Jackets managed to lose 2, so the ball literally, the back of the ball is nearly touching the goal line. And Tolley's got a tall order here, 2nd and 12. Here come the Knots. Boom, right at the line and pushed back.
Is that safety?
They're calling for safety, but they're going to say he's at the 2-inch line, I think.
Wow.
I don't think they're going to give it to
Here's
him.
a replay, let's see.
Not this. This is close. Hard to tell from up here, but bang, maybe just tip of the ball.
I don't know, to me it looks like a safety.
It's hard to say.
That's the absolute, I'll have to say that's the closest you could get without being a safety. I thought they had him in the end zone.
I don't know. Definitely don't want to be the punter if you're.
Yeah, he'll be punting from that back line there. He'll be in between Lakeland and the outline there in the orange. You see the referee standing right there. That's what they'll be at if they don't get any yards.
Flag on the play, delay a game, but I don't know why you throw that because
It's 1 centimeter.
half the distance to the goal, which is literally, as Jeff said, maybe a centimeter.
If before that they had 3 penalties for 20 yards, now they should have 4 penalties for 20 yards.
I see a couple of the Dreadnoughts laughing down there as the ref literally bent down and moved it an inch.
These refs, they got a sense of humor.
Excuse me. Let's see on a 3rd down and 12. Tolley rolls out trying to get any kind of room, and he gets a couple yards, so it gives his punter a step or two anyways. Gutsy roll out.
Short gain there before he's brought down by Tayshawn Rodman of Lakeland.
Howard out there in a hurry says, I want my chance at returning one of these. Bentley got it last time. Let me give it a whirl. What does the punter do? Is he going to angle it right out of bounds? I would come way over here. There's no one on this west side. I'll try to kick it as deep as I could down towards the sideline on the west side. Timeout. Bartow substituting
That's
some
their last
players
timeout.
late.
That's their 3rd timeout. of the half, so it's third and final.
Let's go ahead and take it to a brief commercial with this timeout. With just under 4 minutes left to play, you're not in control, 28-0. We'll be right back.
Whether they're adjusters or nurse case managers, let's be clear. They're still agents for an insurance company. You have rights when you're injured on the job. This includes your right to privacy with your doctor. Don't allow insurance agents to hijack your medical exams. You don't know if they're manipulating your doctor's recommendations, which can harm your case and put you at a disadvantage. Protect yourself and your family. Call us and stand up for your legal rights. Smith, Fedler & Smith. Justice for all.
Back to live action here at Bryant Stadium. What will the punter do? Pin deep here. I'd fake it. Why not?
Tommy Tuberville, the former Auburn coach, he used to fake a punt from anywhere on the field.
Bad snap, low snap. Got to get off in a hurry. Oh, my word. How did he get that through? He does angle it out. Boy, that was a beautiful punt, actually. Got it right in front of Finley Graham. Unreturnable.
That's the best 30-yard punt you've ever seen.
That's the best you could do, I think. That was fantastic. He literally out of 10 times, I don't think he could do better than that. Because it's either going to be returnable or it's going to be blocked. Plenty of time for the Knots to work here on offense. Still in the first half, 3:47. Trying to get to that magical 35-point first half number, Jeff. Been able to do that another time this year.
Yeah, the magic running score number.
Low snap. Williams is going to be sacked. Boy, it's like the offensive line just kind of let the Yellow Jackets through on that play.
That was a busted play of some type.
Yeah, that was either supposed to be a screen or something. They literally, the offensive line just let everyone pass right by.
Yeah, that was.
Or the snap count was off or something.
So yeah, something was off. The snap count or the quarterback was confused or the offensive line messed up. There was definitely some level of confusion. But unfortunately, they only lost 4 yards on it, so it'd be 2nd and 14.
Still a sack for the Yellow Jackets. Good to say if you're on the defensive side of the ball. They got to him one time. McWilliams, this time handoff. Bowman. Nope, it's not Bowman. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is Bowman. Now outside.
Look at that speed. Are you kidding me?
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
DeMarcus Bowman. That is a wow.
Number 9 for Bartow had the angle, Isaiah Lovelace, and Bowman just kicked in another gear. Watch this. As you see right here,
zoop, right through the gap.
Number 9 has an angle, or actually it's number 2, number 2, and Bowman just ran right by him.
I hadn't even seen the best from Bowman yet, really, I don't think.
That was a really good run there because
was a good run, but
the guy had the angle, and he didn't care. He just ran right by him. Kicked in overdrive.
Yikes. Marcus smiling as he puts his helmet down on the bench. Like, I can't sit down. I'm too excited. I gotta walk the sideline here. Is kind of a fumble-rooski thing going on here in the
another missed
extra point.
Extra point. That was definitely the bad.
You don't want to
snap.
get that a habit of doing that now.
So we're at 34 on the doorstep of 35 points. Tim, can you tell us about Wealth Solutions of Central Florida? I see it on the screen there.
Absolutely. It's my company that we're just honored to be able to serve really whoever God puts in front of us. We try to educate and inform people about what to do with their God-given resources and help people make good decisions for their families and for the community and those that they serve. So if you would like some different kind of advice and counsel, we have a whole team of advisors at Wealth Solutions that really take the time to just listen to you and hopefully give you some good, wise counsel that can benefit you from a financial perspective. So we do everything, Jeff. We do, of course, retirement planning and 401k plans, life insurance, disability insurance, everything.
All your financial needs.
Yep.
They got decent field position this time, Tim. Starting at 20 last couple times. They've been starting deep inside their 10-yard line. They might be able to get something going this time.
Can they run the clock out, Jeff, without the Dreadnoughts getting the ball back?
That's
and
a good
can they
question.
Make something happen. That is a simple handoff. The bell.
Swallowed up by the Dreadnought front seven. It's gonna be hard to say who made that tackle, as half the defense was in on that one. Let's see. Someone, the guy on the ground, number 5, Jason Hampton, made the initial contact down around his legs, and then his teammates came in to help finish him off.
No gain, second down 10. Trying to get to the outside, and just nothing there as the Dreadnought defense is there to meet them.
Isaiah Lovelace on the carry, tackled by Hall.
Goodell Hall made the tackle for Lakeland.
So Lovelace on 2 consecutive tries loses
we
a yard.
We might have to interview a defensive player tonight for Lakeland. The defense is playing so good. Talking about Lakeland, I guess they're wanting to see about, getting the ball back and getting one more score before the half.
Timeout, Dreadnoughts, and we'll go ahead and take a timeout just before the half with 1:46 left. Dreadnoughts on top. Stay with us.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. It's beautiful. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Coach Bill Castle here on the field named after him.
That's got to be pretty cool, coaching on the field named after you, right?
This would be like your Leroy Selman driving on the Selman Expressway. Of course, well deserved. As the Knots trying to preserve. Oh boy, Tolley tried to do a fake and keep the ball, and as soon as he turned, again, he had these.
That play action fake did not work. Typically, when it's 3rd and 11, play action fake doesn't really work.
I think the Yellow Jackets are going to see camo in their nightmares.
Perhaps. P.J. Sloan was into that tackle.
6 yards.
And one other Dreadnought, I couldn't make out his number. But P.J. Sloan was the second Dreadnought in on the tackle.
Coach
so Lakeland can get the ball back with about a minute and a half.
For another. I don't know if that's enough time, Jeff, with Bowman, and I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can get there in 1:39. Last drive took him all of 8 seconds.
I think if he tied his legs together like in a
sack
burlap
race.
sack race, he could still do it. DeMarcus Bowman just flexing for you on the camera, showing you his muscles.
Gotta have a little fun, right?
Absolutely. See if Howard or Graham can get a return here. Oh, that's a high snap, but he got it off. Good job there by the punter. Very short punt, but at least he avoided the block. Lakeland's going to take over around the Bartow 26-yard line, so they're almost already in the red zone. So 1:27, there's quite a bit of time to work with when you only have 26 yards to go for pay dirt.
Oh, we got some other halftime scores coming in. Kathleen 7, Winter Haven 7. Tie ball game there.
Also at halftime, Tampa
Another halftime score, Tampa Plant 6, Sickles 0. Of course, Tampa Plant is a
low-scoring game there for
low
Plant.
Scoring. McWilliams under center, takes the handoff, looks to roll out, and buys some time and gets tackled at the 35. Nice job by the Bartow defender. Ski McWilliams sacked.
Napoleon Clark did a good job of Bartow not quitting on the play, not giving up.
As you could see on the replay, but the replay
good
went
pursuit
dead there.
there.
So the Knots now a little bit
and
of
McWilliams actually let up like he thought he had more time. The guy was that close behind him, but great job there by Clark reaching out and tackling him by his foot.
Just hit past the minute mark here in the first half. Knox trying to punch it in one more time. Second down and 19. Quick flare over to Howard. Howard tries to cut back and loses the ball. They're going to say he's down,
the ref said he was down. Wow.
The turf monster grabs another
Not sure
tackle
about that
tonight.
One. Let's see a
yeah,
replay.
That might have been generous, actually, for the Dreadnoughts.
Pregame 6 yards. Timeout Dreadnoughts. That is their
Final timeout by Coach Castle with 40 seconds left. We'll keep it right here as we're.
And nothing else, maybe Jace will get a chance to kick a long field goal tonight.
Oh, that's true. That would be good, too. We'll take that.
Of course, we need to have a good snap to make that work. What kind of play do you think Coach Castle's going to call here?
He might do that fade route, that just post.
Got trips to the right. Zipper is lined up
I was
on the
going to
left.
say, maybe bring Zipper over on a.
Yeah, we haven't seen Zipper at all yet. They're looking for Zipper.
Oh, that's underthrown.
Actually, you had Zipper in the end zone. You had, I think, Howard cutting across underneath. He was actually trying to hit Howard. I think he actually had Zipper open for a second. If he'd thrown the ball sooner and deeper, but, you know, the Bartow guy kind of recovered, but Zipper had his man for a second.
They're going to give Hohenthaler a chance for a long field goal here.
It's a really long field goal. 46-yarder.
Different kind of kick. You know, when you do those extra points, it's more of a chip shot kind of movement. This is different. It's a different kind of leg swing if you're a kicker.
46-yarder, wow.
Get a little more oomph on it.
Be impressed if he can make this one.
We've had two bad snaps consecutively from Howard, or not snaps, rather holds, I would say, just unsure holds, and that messes with you, the kicker, a little bit. This time a high snap, and Hohenthaler, again, bad kind of a connection between the snapper and the holder, just no good.
You can't pin that one all on Jace's. The high snap messed up his rhythm a little bit.
I know Castle did that partly to work on it because of the last two missed extra points, and that didn't make it the cause any better. Kissimmee Osceola 20, Ridge Community 0 here with some other scores around Central Florida.
The long snapper is having a little bit of a rough night tonight for Lakeland.
Another halftime score, Sebring 0, Auburndale 0. So just 26 ticks left here in the first half. Dreadnoughts unable to break that 35-point margin with the missed extra points. As Tolley gets drugged down, and bent backwards. Ouch.
They could have almost caught a flag on that.
That
a little bit
hurt.
of late hit. Here we go. Let's look at this.
Gets bent.
Ugh. That's a pretty aggressive move there by Khalil Crawford.
Johnson on the tackle, and that brings us to the end.
That's going to be the last play of the first half, Tim. Lakeland 34, Bartow 0. As much as Lakeland dominated up 34, they could easily be up probably 42 or 49 right now.
Couple turnovers.
Turnovers, and they've left some points on the board, no doubt.
Miscues as the Princesses of Precision, the Anchorettes, get ready to take the field before the band tonight. I'm going to take a walk down and see my daughter Olivia. And
we'll get the Harry's Seafood Halftime show underway. We'll watch the Anchorettes, and then when we come back from that, I'll have my guest, Brad Smith.
You have rights when you're injured on the job. One example is the right to a one-time change in treating physician. This valuable right can only be used one time, ever. And the life of your claim may depend on what medical specialist you see. Don't be tricked into using your rights at the wrong time. The other side will always have the help of legal experts, and you deserve that too. Get the guidance you need before requesting your one-time change. Smith, Federer, and Smith. Justice for all.
Okay. Debbie, ready to look in the camera? Smile. Okay. Yeah. Okay, baby.
All right, I'm here with my halftime guest on the Harry Seafood Halftime Show, Brad Smith, and his daughter, Seviana.
Right.
She's a little bit nervous to be up here, but she's doing okay.
Yeah, it's getting a little late for a 3-year-old.
All right, Brad, we appreciate you being with us tonight.
No, thank you, my privilege.
We appreciate Smith, Federer, and Smith sponsoring the game tonight.
No, it's our pleasure to support an organization like Lakeland High School football.
Yeah, we appreciate your support. So real quick, before we get to football, tell us a little bit about the law firm. What are you guys up to? What's the latest and the greatest?
Well, what we do is we represent people. People who've been hurt on the job, people who've been hurt in accidents, or people who need to stand up for themselves due to workplace variety of discriminations they may have. So the theme of our up is justice for people. So we're on the side of the individuals, and we represent people throughout the state of Florida, but our home office is here in Lakeland. In fact, this is our 50th year of representing exclusively people. And
wow.
So it's a tradition started by my father and that I've been carrying on now for 23 years myself.
Very nice. And you also have office in Tampa, right, or no?
Yeah, we have offices in Brandon, in Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete. We have office over in Kissimmee, as well as Orlando.
Wow.
But I've taken cases, I've tried probably in the last 18 years, close to 800 cases from Pensacola to Miami.
Wow.
And so, but most of them have been right here in Central Florida, in Lakeland and Tampa.
I know you mentioned your dad, Guy Smith. I saw him tonight.
Yes.
He's here tonight with honors as a former Booster Club president. Talk a little bit about your dad and what Lakeland football means to him and your whole family, really.
Lakeland High School football really changed our life. It was a sport that my dad always followed growing up, but you know he really didn't understand or coach the game, and so I wound up with a coach in 7th or 8th grade saying, "Hey, we want you to be our quarterback." And so I just knew that I enjoyed the sport and enjoyed the contact and the camaraderie. And so, up I came, and in high school at about 11th grade, it was in the vying for a starting position. And then, football became a part of our life.
So what was it like playing for Coach Castle?
I think what Coach Castle, he's just an incredibly intense, focused person who, creates organization out of, whatever team he's got, and helps you develop respect for each other, respect for a team working together. And he I think the biggest lesson that I remember from Coach Castle is how, whether it's in football or just in life, the need to create urgency. And that whenever you take your opponent for granted, or you think everything is going to coast or be easy, that's when you need to make sure you're very prepared. Because, football is a game of momentum, and if you come into a game flat and you let a team have momentum, take it away from you, you can lose some games you ought to win.
So you got to always be prepared, and you got to have a sense of urgency.
Yes, and don't underestimate your opponent.
So then after you left Lakeland, you ended up playing football at University of Kentucky in the SEC. What was that like for you?
That was a lot of fun. I was recruited by Jerry Claiborne, and then I played under Bill Curry. Tommy Bowden was the offensive coordinator. It was his first position, or first coach, or first team where he was a coach that was a coordinator. And I was able to run his offense pretty well. Unfortunately, after 1 year, he got a promotion and went to Auburn. Yeah. And then I was able to start again the following year for about half the year.
Was that Terry Bowden or Tommy Bowden?
That was Tommy Bowden. Tommy Bowden, who went to Auburn, went to Tulane and Clemson, and now I think he does TV.
Yeah.
But he really taught me the details of football as far as knowing where 11 players are, how to pick up blitzes.
Yeah, he was a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he was. He had a great energy for the game, great enthusiasm. I remember Tommy Bowden, we'd watch films, pick on players and their tendencies. Each game we had 4 or 5 plays where we would note the other team's tendencies and what they may want to do or how they react and try to exploit it.
So before a couple weeks ago, the last time that Kentucky beat Florida in football, you hadn't even gone to Kentucky yet. You were a student at Lakeland High School. So as a former Kentucky football player, what was that like seeing Kentucky finally beat the Gators?
Wow. I tell you, that it was a great emotional victory to feel like we were able to break that gridlock. I was, I think, a sophomore in high school when we last beat Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then when Kentucky started recruiting me, I was like, they beat Florida. Who would have known back then?
Little did you know it'd be a long, long time.
It'd be a long time. But we had a group text going with a lot of the guys I played ball with.
Oh, nice.
And there's something special is happening at Kentucky under Stoops.
Yeah, Mark Stoops did a great job.
Yeah, he's really energized the whole base, redefined the program. I got called, invited up to they're starting with a lot of the former players, and so I'll be heading up next month and sitting with the athletic director in a box watching us play Vanderbilt. So
nice.
They're really reaching out to a lot of us former players. But I always love going back to Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah.
People think of it as a basketball school, which is true, but Stoops is revolutionizing the image.
And kudos to the Kentucky administration for being patient with Stoops and not giving up on him. It's been a slow build, but obviously he's definitely got it. He's turned the corner now, and he's got a nice roster there.
7 or 9, legitimate high NFL prospects, a couple first-round draft picks, both offense and defense. Their O-line is really a top 3 or 4 in the SEC, which puts them in the top of the country. So
let's no doubt. So real quick, what about Lakeland football? Have you been to very many games here? Is this your first game?
I've been to a couple earlier this year, and this team is...
What are your thoughts on the Lakeland team this year? Maybe the best team we've had in quite a little while.
This team is has got some special players. They're playing, from what I've seen, disciplined, organized. They have speed. They have strength. They've got a good combination.
What about that tailback, DeMarcus Bohm? He's something special, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, he's fantastic. He reminds me of a bulky Chris Rainey.
Yeah.
He's
a bigger version of Chris Rainey.
Right.
No doubt. A great vision, too. The only thing maybe that I don't see this having at this point is a down-the-field passing game. You do some short passes. What are your thoughts on the passing and being a former quarterback?
Well, I come from the line of quarterbacks that relies on the talent around me. But it's always great when you can have a quarterback that can run the ball, which Lakeland High School does right now. I think perhaps in the playoffs, the passing game will come in. From what I've seen, obviously with a game like tonight, we haven't had to rely on it. But I think as we get deeper in this season, the practice will pay off.
Hopefully by the playoffs, they can develop that passing game some more to get ready for the playoffs.
I think they'll be ready.
Yeah.
I think they'll be ready. But they got to keep practicing.
Yep, no doubt about that. Thanks a lot, Brad, for joining us today.
My
and
pleasure.
being our guest in the Harry Seafood Halftime Show. We'll take a commercial break and be back with you in a little bit.
Say hi.
Say goodbye.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Few law firms can pinpoint an exact moment that inspired its founding purpose. For Smith, Fedler, and Smith, it was 1942 when H. Guy Smith's uncle was paralyzed after a fall in a sawmill. He died 14 months later, leaving behind a family in need. The loss inspired Smith to found his law firm to fight for the rights of workers, the injured, and their families. To this day, Smith, Fedler, and Smith remains committed to his mission. Smith, Fedler, and Smith.
1, 2, 1.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans. A Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to halftime, Red Knot style. 'Tis a gift to be simple. Tonight's show opens with the upbeat field arrangement featuring sounds of Americana titled Appalachian Morning. And now, under the field command of drum majors Alexander Bush and Hannah Smith, it's the Lakeland High School Dreadnought Marching Band. Appalachian years. The band performs a ballad from this work titled The Promise of Living. Tonight's show closes with the familiar classic American folk song melody, Simple Gifts. What's that? Yeah, that's right. I don't have those two. Yeah, but you have those.
juniors, and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveForExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th Annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different, and we prove it.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. It's beautiful. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for 1 person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Whether they're adjusters or nurse case managers, let's be clear. They're still agents for an insurance company. You have rights when you're injured on the job. This includes your right to privacy with your doctor. Don't allow insurance agents to hijack your medical exams. You don't know if they're manipulating your doctor's recommendations, which can harm your case and put you at a disadvantage. Protect yourself and your family. Call us and stand up for your legal rights. Smith, Fedler, and Smith. Justice for all.
Back up in the press box, Tim Conti and Jeff Goddard's just taking a quick break. He'll be back with us in just a moment. But a lot of interesting comments as I walked around the stadium. First of all, I got to see my lovely oldest daughter, Olivia, here at the game tonight with some friends, so that was a treat. But also, a lot of the stuff that I heard was that of course, the Dreadnought Band, phenomenal. Both bands really good tonight. So if you like marching bands, you had a great performance. But one thing I heard overwhelmingly was, hey, Tim, I love the new tradition at the end of the first quarter. Everyone kind of got a little teary-eyed and just felt certainly a sense of doing something more than just coming to a football game by acknowledging and waving the kids and folks and doctors and nurses up there on the 6th floor at the facility right across from Bryant Stadium here. So that was an exciting thing that hopefully will continue for a long time. And I got a couple comments from some friends that watched too. And as Dreadnought football, of course, is leading in a good direction this year, so goes some of the Dreadnought other teams. And one of those is the volleyball team, which is currently 11-1 on their season and headed for some great playoff action, hopefully. And they can go deep into the playoffs. But not just football here at Dreadnoughts, a lot of great athletes all around. And on the girls' side of things too, fantastic athletes. And volleyball certainly one of those very fun and exciting sports to play and watch here at Bryant Stadium. So just after the long marching bands, we just have a few more minutes of warm-ups, and we'll be back to action here in the second half with the Dreadnoughts leading 34-0 and well in control of this game. Looking for that next home game next week, of course, here at Bryant Stadium. You're welcome to come join us live. We always love when you watch us on the webcast, but we also love when you come here to Bryant Stadium and can see and put your hands on everything that goes on Friday Night Live. So stay with us. We'll be right back for second half action in just a moment.
Bartow Ford is proud to announce that we've won the President's Award for the 19th time. You would need to leave the state of Florida to find a dealer that's won it more. Sales volume and customer satisfaction is how you win. And let's face it, you wouldn't sell a lot of vehicles if you didn't offer the lowest price around and take care of customers the very best. But why don't I have them up on the wall? Because a long time ago, my father taught me that our people are what make the difference. Other dealerships, they can have their gimmicks and games. We'll take people that care. Bartow Ford, we're different, and we prove it.
Welcome back to third quarter action here at Bryant Stadium after the halftime show and the interview with one Brad Smith. As Bartow seeing if they can maybe put some points on the board and get the goose egg off the scoreboard, and the Dreadnoughts trying to push this thing along and maybe get the running clock in action. We'll see who substitutes in the second half. But nonetheless, a good first fall Friday Night Live game here at Bryant Stadium. Great atmosphere. As the bell tolls down on Bill Castle Field. Quick kick out of bounds. That'll be a flag. Ball will come out to the 35. Hey, I wanted to say a very hearty congratulations to some great Dreadnought fans in North Carolina. These are fans that tune in almost every week that were on the webcast, and they're good friends of the show. I want to do a shout-out to Stephen and Michelle Cooper and their wonderful family, their princesses Angel, Diamond, Daquan, Sasha, and Janiqua. Love you guys. Thanks for supporting Dreadnought football, and hope you're doing wonderful there in the great state of North Carolina. The Dreadnoughts with their first possession in the second half. Up 34-0. Ski McWilliams still under center for the time being. Handoff outside. Nice cutback. Breaks a tackle. I think that's Howard. Nice cutback again. Tries to cut back and runs into his blocker. So he actually had a lot more room, but hit number 57 on the cutback, Willie Lampkin. And that was more of anyone that slowed him down, his own player.
Tackled by Josh Holder.
Holder on the official tackle for the Yellow Jackets.
And Tremaine Patterson.
Still a nice gain for the Knots on their first play of the second half.
Play gain 21 yards.
21-yard gain. First down. Just tucked inside the 45, the 44-yard line. Ski McWilliams sends Howard in motion, comes back through to the big man, Bowman. Bowman follows his blockers, tries to break a tackle, but nice wrapped-up tackle by number 3. Dathan Davis does a good job of wrapping up Bowman, which was not an easy task, and Bowman actually gets up a little slow.
Play gain 12 yards. Results in a Dreadnoughts first down.
You can see on the replay, Bowman got twisted around a little bit. Looks over at Coach Castle, seems to be okay. West out to the far side. West out to the east, as we might say, and he's going to throw it in that direction. Nice catch by West. Quickly makes the move to the outside, breaks back in and picks up a few more yards near the first down marker, maybe a yard or two shy.
Ski McWilliams' pass is complete.
So nice complete pass from Ski Williams to West. As you can see on the replay, officially 8 yards.
Brings up second down and 2.
As I mentioned, both bands doing a fantastic job at halftime. They're getting close to, I believe or maybe they just went through their competition season, so they're gearing up to be on point. Over at the right hash go the Knots, but the left side come West and Howard. McWilliams still in the ballgame, as I said, on a second down and 2 here. Lakeland jumps a little bit. Bowman had a lot of room, and that was going to be a big gainer for Bowman, but Dreadnoughts jumped off sides, I believe. False start, rather.
Lakeland didn't have too many penalties the first half, Tim. Pretty crisp half for Lakeland on that front.
As we've seen, Jeff, it really depends a lot on the crew, right? Because I don't know if it's that different of a team from week to week, but some weeks literally you could get a call every other play. And this game seems to be, much more in line with what we would expect. As Bowman gets the handoff, hits the line, but runs into his own player and spins off.
There's no doubt that there's some variation based on the crew, you know. I mean, officiating is subjective. I mean, there's just no way around that.
Jeff, I was talking about at the end of the first half there, just all the great response I got talking to some people about that new tradition of saying hello to the kids over there on the 6th floor.
Yeah, I think everyone is liking that for sure.
That was a winner for everyone all around. Dreadnoughts trying to sneak it in the north end zone here. 9:47 left. Handoff Bowman. Gets a nice block to the outside by Zipper.
That's
another block, but they're going to say it's a hold, and that'll come back.
Nothing you can do about that one. That's definitely a hold. That was an egregious hold by it was one of the Dreadnought receivers down the field, not the offensive line. A lot of times when you hear holding, you automatically are ready to blame the offensive line.
He knew he did it too. He's hanging, I won't give his name out, but he's hanging his head low there and walking back. And Coach Castle's talking right in his ear from the sidelines. He's like, was that necessary?
Yeah.
Here it comes right there.
I think it was just before that, actually, but yeah, you had to call that one. So that will bring a replay at 3rd down, 3rd and 2.
Couple little minor miscues. McWilliams under center, high formation. Bowman handoff. Nice blocking straight away. Bowman spins.
Oh, nice
through
spin
at the
move.
5. Touchdown Bowman with a great spin move at the 10-yard line.
Add another play to Bowman's highlight reel.
Just keeping his balance nicely.
Of course, when Bartow has a defensive lineman that's late coming on the field, it was almost like they were playing against 10 players. Although they technically had 11 on the field, he was out of the play.
So in control of his movements and body is one DeMarcus Bowman, the 5'11 junior. We love that. But having one of those spectacular seasons. Let's see if we can get this corrected here. We had some issues. Last 3 snaps and holds have been that one high as well, but Jace takes his time and puts it through this time.
The point after is good by Jason Lowenthal. The Dreadnought scoring drive was 5 plays and covered 65.
Officially 5 plays, 65 yards on the scoring drive.
24-yard touchdown run.
4th? Yeah. 4th touchdown by Mr. DeMarcus Bowman. 41-zip is your score.
Bowman seems to average about 4 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, right. He's doing that lately. Should have changed his jersey number to 4 instead of 3.
So Bartow did agree to the running clock as we have the running clock now. Now that's a 35-point lead. 41-0 Lakeland, 8:03 to go in the 3rd quarter.
So a stop or two for a water break here and there, and other than that, we'll be out of here in a jiffy. And I imagine with that, Jeff, we'll see the second teamers come into the ballgame on offense for the Knots. And
I'm almost surprised we didn't see the second teamers on that first drive, but yes, I think
even on defense, I would say
Bowman.
here as Hohenthaler boots it high, it's returnable at the 5-yard line. Stutter step, wiggle, wiggle, down at the 14.
We've had our issues with the extra points and field goals due to snaps, but the kickoff coverage has been very good tonight.
26 does a nice little dance move right here.
Please join us in the film room on Lakeland High School's campus this Monday night at 7 p.m. for the Dreadnought Highlight Report with Coach Bill Castle. In addition to meeting various players and position coaches, attendees will get to hear Coach Castle review tonight's game film and break down next week's opponent.
So do you see him? Oh, it should be a fumble.
Yeah, that's definitely a fumble, not a pass.
And Knots do recover at the 4-yard line.
It's going to be another very, very short field for the Dreadnoughts.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
You saw Tolley just literally bonked the intended runner on the face mask with the ball on the pitch.
Let's see if Mason Martin goes in at quarterback as well. Or if Ski McWilliams is still the quarterback.
No, it is Martin.
I think it is Martin. Number 12, yep, it's behind center.
We do have Kellum and Ellefson and as the running backs as well. Timeout, Bartow.
Bartow's having some problems getting players on the field, so they had to burn a timeout there.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the banners surrounding Bryant Stadium. Lakeland High School.
Some people down there on the field were on the stands when I was down there at halftime were commenting that Lakeland doesn't look as sharp as they have some other games this year. I mean, not that they look totally flat, but I would agree they don't look quite as sharp as they happen. But I think part of it is knowing that you're not going to get a great game tonight. Obviously they know that Bartow's been struggling. But then also, of course, you got a bigger game next week against George Jenkins. So it could have been a combination of those two things. Maybe come out with not their most crisp effort, but not a bad by any stretch.
Yeah, I also heard the same comments, Jeff, actually, and one was through the internet that said, hey, Lakeland looks like they're playing down to their opponent a little bit, and that tends to happen, as Jeff said, especially when you have a kind of a big game next week anticipated. And, again, you have to play the games, but with all reason, unless something crazy goes on, you know that you're going to probably be victorious. So it's that mental edge of, the extra being hyped up and adrenaline that maybe just isn't present. But overall, not horrible. As Martin lines up under center, they can hand off to Kellum. Kellum gets met in the backfield and brought down by number 11 in a hurry. Nice tackle by Chad Price.
Very nice. That was Reginald Kellum on the carry. Chad Price, just a sophomore. So Bartow's pretty young team this year. Looking at the roster, not a whole lot of seniors. So although they're taking their lumps this year, you can see them show some possible dramatic improvement over the next year or two as these younger kids get older.
We got a freshman and a sophomore quarterback, so they'll be around for several years, and can only assume that they'll get better here as we move along the next few years.
Tolly's been very fun to watch tonight, the sophomore Bartow quarterback.
Martin going to keep it and be drugged down around the 6-yard line maybe.
Tackled by Chad Price.
So 3rd and goal here now for Lakeland. Once again, a problem with the snap. It was on the ground. Martin did a good job of scooping it up and not allowing that to become a turnover. Martin had 2 touchdown passes 2 weeks ago here at Bryant Stadium. Be interesting to see if Coach Castle lets them throw the ball here on 3rd and 7. 3rd and goal from the 7, I should say.
Still have some starters in there at the wide receiver position. Zipper, West, Howard. Fake handoff. Keeper by Martin, who's going to score right up the middle. Nice
Good
play.
job by Martin there executing the read option.
Very good fake to the back, as you'll see right here. Ellison pulls
well.
it out of his gut and then just goes straight up the gut behind his blockers.
I mean, he was watching that. And he waited for the defensive end there to totally commit to the running back, and he made the right read there. And
hair flapping and
pulled
all.
It back to, like I said, pulled it out of his gut and kept it and scored an easy touchdown. He reminds me a little bit is the new Clemson quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, who's a freshman, just named their starter. He's got long, stringy hair like that.
I always thought that was an effective skill for a quarterback to literally place it in the gut of the runner and pull it out. I think that really throws off a lot of defenders as you see Mason Martin there.
Freshman. Anymore when you're a quarterback, it's not just making the reads in the passing game, which is usually what you think of when you talk about that, but you have to make the reads in the running game, whether it's in a read option play like that or an RPO, run-pass option. That's just as important as making reads and you're making your progressions in the passing game. And sometimes it's not even making a read after the ball snaps. Sometimes it's making the read before you even snap the ball and getting the team into the right running play. So that's important as well. I had one of those cupcakes while ago at halftime from the what's it called? Aunt Tia's Hollywood Cafe.
Yeah, the one of the pink ones.
Very good. Yeah, strawberry.
Yeah, yummy.
Really good. I thought it might just be a vanilla cupcake, but then I started eating a strawberry. Very good. Very nice flavor to it.
And again, she feeds the players, which is literally no small task. Hohenthaler kicks it to the 2. Bartow still trying to get off the schneid, and that's not going to help the cause much. Just breaking the 10-yard line.
Josh Burley on the kickoff return.
Burley unable to muster up anything on the return. A lot of substitutions in now for the Dreadnoughts on defense.
Here's a good shot of the Dreadnought fans here at Bryant Stadium. Some students there.
I don't know if if my daughter's still here. She's somewhere up there.
Wait, is that her with that boy with his arm around her?
Yeah. Not tonight. Oh, there we go. We got someone doing that.
Some dancing there. What's that one dance called?
I can't remember.
My daughter taught it to me. I forget what it's called.
I can't remember. That's sad. Handoff. Oh, nice broken tackle, and then cuts back the middle and pays the price. Wow.
It's called the floss.
There you go.
That's what it's called, the floss. Yeah.
The dance of the cameraman doing the
Our
floss.
cameraman's up here doing the floss. Very nice.
Oh, Jeff's got to
The
do
only
it.
kind
I just heard a request for you to do it on camera.
The only kind of floss I can do is the dental floss. I can floss my teeth.
I want you to do
That's
it during
about it,
the
man.
post-game interview. You need to bust it out right before.
Maybe only if Coach Castle will do it with me. If
Oh,
Coach Castle will do it, I'll do it.
21 seconds left in the third quarter. Number 8 gets the ball spun around. I'm sorry, that's Bell, number 6 again. We got most of the carries in the first half.
I got to talk to Michael. See about maybe at some point this year on a Friday before the game going and doing an interview with some of the people on
That'd be great.
the children's floor there, the hospital that we wave to. That'd be cool to be able to maybe show that at halftime or pregame show. Interview some of the kids that are there, some of the nurses. That'd be nice. Lakeland 48, Bartow 0 as we head to the fourth quarter. The running clock in the second half is going to fly by, Tim. At this point, I think both teams just want to get out of the game injury-free.
Let's go ahead and send it to a quick commercial here at the end of the third quarter, and we'll be right back with you for the end. Lakeland, as you see the Lakeland High School cheerleaders who do a fantastic job keeping the crowd involved.
Lainey Blevins, Madeline Marlowe, Adriana Mancini,
Quick pass just ahead of the intended receiver. Number 3 was trying to catch up with it. Dathan Davis.
There's that short passing game that we kind of had some success with there in the first half. Haven't seen it in a while. That ball was a little bit out in front of Davis. Couldn't quite pull it in, the Bartow receiver. I have to say the number 10 in the game now, Lynn Johnson at quarterback, but number 7, Desarian Tolley, has been more impressive tonight. He looks really good. I think he might be the future for Bartow at that
spectacular
position.
run that showed us some of the flashes of brilliance that may be under the just under the skin there for him coming out in the next year or two.
A block punt, Tim. In the end zone, somebody going to fall on it. Who's going to be the lucky guy?
Get that ball. Stay. Oh, you got to be kidding me.
It's going to be a safety, I think. How did you not recover that?
Those are the balls you just...
I mean, that was like the easiest touchdown you could ever get in your life.
You can't try to do anything too crazy. It is a safety.
Well, I think he fell on it too hard and the ball squirted away.
Oh, my.
Hopefully we can see a replay of that. I mean,
again, you just your body momentum just carries you over the ball. You just got to literally calm yourself down and just lay on it.
You got to calm down and slow down. Yeah, he's definitely
that's hard to do, though.
Too much momentum. Too much strength. Too much power. Hey, safety's not bad. It gives you an even 50.
Yeah.
The safety brings the score to the Lakeland Dreadnoughts 50 and the Bartow Yellow Jackets 0.
Let me get the ball back. Hot and muggy night here at Bryant Stadium. But a good time for all.
All right, Tim, who do you think I should interview tonight? You got any ideas?
I don't know. I'm trying to think
obviously
of who
Bowman had a great game, but we've already interviewed him this year.
Have you interviewed Jace yet?
No, I don't know if today's the best day, though, with trouble with the snaps and the kicking. Not that
Well,
it
that's what I was
going to
say. That'd be something to talk to him about how.
Yeah, I don't want to make him throw the long snap under the bus, though.
So Bartow elects to just normal kickoff here from the 20 on the safety. Clock ticking under 9 minutes now. It's Kellum who's trying to just pick his way through, and
he's got it. He's got one guy to beat.
One guy to beat. Can Kellum get
don't
there?
Block
don't
him in
touch
the
him.
back.
Don't touch him.
Touchdown, Dreadnoughts. Reginald Kellum.
So there we got 2 points and the touchdown.
Very nice weaving from left to right back
there.
left, kickoff return. That was Rodman, I think, had to pull up there and make sure he didn't block him in the back.
That's hard to do, when you want to try to
you want to lay the guy out, yeah. That was good discipline. The Dreadnoughts showed a lot of discipline tonight. Very few penalties.
That was good.
Actually, this might be the fewest penalties I've seen in the Dreadnoughts in a game in quite some time.
It kind of goes hand in hand in a weird way with the little bit slower paced play or backing off a little bit, maybe not quite as aggressive and quite hyped up, so you're maybe a little calmer, thinking a little.
Are you saying we'll be back to lots of penalties next week? Is that what you're saying?
You read me well.
There he is, the sophomore running back with the big kickoff return, Reginald.
Very talented.
Kellum.
He's got that
nice smile. Look at Reg with the big smile there.
He's got that spatial awareness that we talk about, that football awareness. He's shown us here.
Spatial awareness on the field or with his teeth, with the braces. He's got the braces. He's getting spatial awareness.
De-spaced with that, and then increased spatial awareness on the field.
There we go. There's a nice snap. That might be the best snap of the night. That was a perfect snap.
Dreadnought scoring play, 64 yards. Kellum return for the touchdown. 57-0 is your score. Let's take a brief timeout. We'll be right back.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for 1 person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Back up at the press box live at Bryant Stadium. Dreadnoughts enjoying a little bit of a, I'm not going to say a bye week. It's not a bye week, but boy, a flag all the way over from the west sideline.
That's coming from a long way away.
Napoleon Clark on the kick return. Flag on the play. Tonight's sponsor of the game is Smith, Federer & Smith, attorneys at law. Thank you, Smith, Federer & Smith, for your constant and dedicated support of Dreadnought football.
With the running
Chop
clock.
block
Yeah.
by Bartow. Once again, we want to thank Smith, Federer & Smith for being the sponsor of the game tonight here at Bryant Stadium.
They got to play horse here. With the running clock, they don't have much time to sneak it in. They got
to do it quickly.
Officials timeout for the fourth quarter water break.
The last official water break here of the game.
Time to visit the concession stand and support your LHS marching band.
Let's do a quick commercial and be right back with you for the last 5 minutes and 12 seconds.
this is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. It's beautiful. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Back here at Bryant Stadium, the music's so loud I can barely hear through the headphones. Handoff up the middle. Bell on the carry. Yellow Jackets moving quickly. Nice pass. Tolly.
Look what the sign says there. It says, "I would dread not going to homecoming with you." Is he asking somebody to homecoming right now?
He is.
I think so. Can we get a camera over there? Come on, can we get a camera? We just had a football player ask a cheerleader to homecoming. Look at that.
During the game.
Wow.
We're told we can't.
That's what I call getting it done right there.
Can't swing the camera. She's lucky. She said, or he's
another
lucky.
draw
She
play
said
for
yes.
Bartow. Bell's pushed out of bounds as we approach the 4-minute mark of the ball game. Lakeland up 57-0.
Good photo op. He's just got to pull the jersey down, though.
There you go. Now you
that's
can
the only
see
request I
it
have.
at home.
Pull the jersey down.
Who is that number 33?
Don't need to show the abs.
Jalen Taylor. He had I think a fumble recovery. No, he had the interception, I think, tonight.
Ooh.
So Jalen
possible interview. No, I'm kidding.
Jalen Taylor getting the interception and the homecoming day. Maybe that's what I should interview. I was wanting to interview a defensive player. He did get a interception and he got a homecoming day. Yeah, not quite as dramatic as the old Boise State running back, after the upset Oklahoma on the Fiesta Bowl back about
Tolly
12
going deep.
years.
Picked off.
Nice job there by number 30, Tayshawn Rodman.
And they're all excited because I think he's going to get the turnover chain. They're all mugging him there.
Turnover chain.
First down and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
They're going to break it out. There it is. Yeah.
Do you remember that, Tim? Back when Boise State about 12, 13 years ago upset Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. The star of the running back court for Boise State, he proposed to his cheerleader girlfriend after the game to get married, get engaged. That's kind of what we saw here tonight, but on a lesser scale. All right, Tim, I'm going to go get ready for the interviews. I'll leave it with you.
Do it. As horse is called. We'll see you. Have a good game.
Mason Martin on the keeper. Flag in the play.
Jeff Goddard headed down to the field for the post-game interviews. He's going to go on the fly. I don't think we talked him into doing the floss, though. I don't know. He's a little reluctant. That'd be glorious. That's for so many reasons. Now it's going to go 6-0 on the season. Illegal participation against the Dreadnoughts. Handoff left side. Knots just running some clock out here with 1:09 left. Just a few more plays to go with the running clock. And the Dreadnoughts will have this one in the books, 57-0. Didn't necessarily need to pull out all the weapons tonight. Controlled game on the field. Some people may take it as the Dreadnoughts being not quite as sharp as they normally are, but I think it was more of just a controlled pace and game plan by Coach Bill Castle tonight for lots of reasons. Through the first half and most of the third quarter, the starters were in, and then shifted to Martin and a bunch of others, as Martin's going to just wisely drop down after he's getting pressure in the backfield, sacked. And that'll do it probably for this game. The game will end on a defensive sack.
And that brings us to the end of the game with the final score, the Lakeland Dreadnoughts 57 and the Bartow Yellow Jackets 0.
And that'll do it. The end of the game is upon us. That running clock surely makes things cruise by. Next week, at home, a very anticipated game, which we would normally not say when we're playing the George Jenkins Eagles, but two potentially undefeated teams. If, in fact, we get word tonight that Jenkins won, they'd both be coming in tonight at 6-0, or next week at 6-0. And the Dreadnoughts would have to show up. That's all we know, because I tell you what, there would be nothing more impressive if you're an Eagle than to come in here at Bryant Stadium and give the Dreadnoughts an L, a loss on their big L on the center of the field. They would love to give the Lakeland Dreadnoughts a loss, but Dreadnoughts have something to say about that. We'll have something to say about that next week, and stay tuned. That'll be October 5th, Friday next week. Meeting at half field as we normally do. There's number 33, the homecoming suave. Now he didn't make that banner though. That was some nice artwork and handwriting. That was too nice for a football player to have done. I think he contracted someone to help him with that banner, but I could be wrong. It's possible he's an artist. I don't know.
And exit the stadium when the lights are turning off. Thank you for your cooperation.
Team Chaplain George Williams leading the post-game prayer of Thanksgiving. Sort out who he wants to pull forward for the post-game interviews. Of course, always ending with Coach Castle. Getting his thoughts on the wrap-up of this game and then what lies ahead next week. This is one of those. Michael Barrett, maybe you have somebody. I'm hard-pressed to have a player of the game tonight. I don't know that there was any one particular standout in any area. It's just one of those games I'd like to just default to the team victory and see who Jeff comes up with for some interviews. There you go, Reginald Kellum. I like that choice. Michael Barrett putting Reginald Kellum up there, who's, first of all, just gets it for the smile, right? Kind of electric's got that light about him. Kellum, of course, the backup running back who had a nice return for a touchdown here late in the game and did a nice job in the second half. Looking for great things from him in years to come. Entire defense played a well-rounded game as well. One thing I noticed they're starting to do here, and they announced it at Bryant Stadium, is afterwards they just don't want many of the kids loitering too long. A lot of the kids will tend to stay on the field and talk and chat for a long time, but they're going to give them another 10, 15 minutes, and they're going to start shutting the lights off, they said, here at Bryant Stadium. Oh, I think I see Jeff emerging from the pack. It might even be with the homecoming man himself. Yeah, it is. It's number 33. Jeff Goddard going to go with Jalen Taylor for the first interview. Cameramen, you all ready? Getting in position right now, the camera, on-field camera.
Okay, this is Jeff Goddard down the field with senior defensive back Jalen Taylor. Jalen, you had an interception the first half tonight. Describe that play for us.
Well, coming into this game, we knew they like to run a lot of out routes, so Coach told us just be prepared to run 8 a lot, and as a senior defensive back, it's like the 5th game, and I didn't have no pick, so I felt in my gut something was coming, and I seen it out, and my safety called 8, and I just jumped the route and was going home, but I tripped up, and we just needed a spark just to start the game off, but that's pretty much.
So it could have been a pick 6 if you didn't get tripped up, but nonetheless, you still got the INT. It was kind of like the ball tipped off the guy's hands and it fell right in your lap. Did it surprise you, catch you off guard at all?
Yes, sir, because I was going for the hit. I wanted the big hit to wake the crowd up a little bit. And as I went for the hit, I just looked, and the ball was in my hands. I'm like, oh, it got me a pick. Let's go.
And the best part of all, you got to come get the turnover chain, right?
Yes, sir. I was waiting for the turnover chain all season, boy, I tell you that.
Okay, but now what everyone wants to know out in Dreadnought Nation, not about the interception. They want to know about the proposal at the end of the game. It looks like you asked a cheerleader to homecoming, and she said yes. Tell us about that, and what gave you the idea to do that?
Well, it's my girlfriend, and so I don't know. I wanted to ask her to homecoming, but I didn't know how to do it, so I just got with her friends, and we just thought of something. I wanted Dreadnought theme, and we thought what it would be a cool way to do it at the game in front of everybody, and it worked out for me. I was a little, I don't know why, but I was a little nervous she was going to say no. I don't know. I just had that, I don't know. I was nervous, though.
That would have been bad news. Now, the thing that's amazing, it was actually while the game was still in progress. You didn't wait to after the game's still going on, and you're taking care of business over there. Now, have you ever heard about, I mean, you were just a kid at the time, but I think it was like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, Boise State upset Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, and the star running back for Boise State asked his cheerleader girlfriend to marry him after the game. Have you heard about that?
No, sir.
Okay, when you go home tonight, your assignment is homework assignment. Get on the YouTube or internet and Google Boise State proposal, and you'll see that, and that would be very similar to what you did tonight.
Yes, sir. I got you.
And next year, you come and tell me if you saw it, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jalen Taylor, congratulations. We'll be back with Coach Castle in just a minute.
Jalen Taylor, the romantic, planned it out, got with a few of her friends and said, hey, I want to do something a little extraordinary for this young lady. I'm gonna tee it up right in the middle of the ball game. I'm not even waiting until afterwards. So an all-around good night for JT with the pick of the football and the pick of the cheerleader. Good job, my friend. That's great to listen in on his thoughts about how he had that pick. He said, listen, there was some preparation involved. Coach Castle told us they like to do these out routes. We saw that from them. That's exactly what they did. They threw a lot of those quick kind of short to mid out routes. And he said, hey, just be ready to jump in front of it. And he said he felt it. He felt it in his gut. Sometimes as a football player, you just know something's going to happen special. And he had that feeling tonight. So very interesting perspective from the young defensive player for Lakeland. 57-0 your score with the Knots win. 6 on the season, 6-0 in fine fashion here at home as Jeff Goddard has Coach Bill Castle down on the field. Go ahead, Jeff.
All right, Jeff Goddard back on the field with victorious Coach Bill Casser. Coach, another win, another shutout, 57-0. Talk about the game tonight and kind of what you took away from your team's performance.
Well, our kids came out and played hard. It got sloppy at times, but overall we had a good effort tonight, offense, defense, and they were really crowding the line of scrimmage on us tonight, and probably should have threw a little bit more, but we were still having success running the ball. So, just proud of our team, what they've accomplished this year so far, and we realize that, we got some big games coming ahead of us that, we'll have to be at our best.
Speaking of big games, next week, George Jenkins, if they win tonight, they'll be undefeated. Of course, Lakeland's undefeated. Arguably maybe the biggest Jenkins-Lakeland game ever, maybe. What do you know about George Jenkins, and what kind of test are they going to provide for Lakeland next week?
Without a doubt, I've already seen them on film, actually, when they played Bartow. They're the real deal. They got a solid team. They got a really good quarterback. Their running back runs really hard, and they got a good defensive team. They haven't given up hardly any points this year, so it should be a big game for us.
Now, getting back to offense, what's the biggest area of improvement that you want to see from your offense as we head into the second half of the season and hopefully get ready for the playoffs?
Well, it's been penalties, and we did cut them out a little bit tonight, the penalties and all, but that's been our main thing, and just have execution and consistency in our drive. We're capable of throwing the ball. We just really, we really hadn't been in a situation where we really had to throw much because, we've had good run game this year, and, I'm really, really proud of our kids, the way they've been playing so far.
Yeah, another great game by DeMarcus Bowman tonight, 4 touchdowns. The last touchdown, the little spin move, kind of something special there. Just talk real quick about Bowman, and does he continue to amaze you, or you're used to it by now?
He's an athlete. I mean, he's a good player for us. He's worked hard, and I'm glad to see him having the success he's having. It hadn't come to him, but him just laying around. I mean, it really worked hard over the summer and prepared himself, and definitely off to a great year for us.
All right, thanks. Congrats again on the big victory tonight over Bartow, and we'll see you all back here next week for the George Jenkins game. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Tim.
Thanks, Jeff. Wrap things up here in the press box tonight. Fine win, and great to hear from Coach Castle. Always his perspective, keeps things in line. And he said, hey, we don't need to throw this much this year. Our running game has been that good. And obviously Bowman doesn't want to talk too much about his star running back, but he knows the special athlete he has in Bowman. And hopefully that continues. Hopefully the Dreadnoughts stay healthy. Stay with us. A great game on tap for next week, as you just heard. Jenkins probably undefeated. Dreadnoughts undefeated. Is literally shutting the lights off on us here tonight. So we'll wrap it up. We'd like to say God bless and good night, everybody. Have a great weekend on a big Dreadnoughts win. Stay with us next week, and we look forward to seeing you then. Take care.